What is up, you guys? Toast and Coffee here, and welcome back to another episode of Second Circle. Today's episode, we're gonna be dating Justice and Lucifer, and let's get on with the date. Starting with Justice. It's gonna be an interesting date out of all the dates. Early one morning, you find yourself yanked out of a deep sleep by some ruckus coming out from the hallway. Grudgingly, you turn over to peer at your window. Though with the gap between the curtains, you see the auburn sunrise lurking just beyond the horizon. The morning has only just begun. Thinking that you'd get some more sleep and wake up at some reasonable hour, you close your eyes, but as soon as you do, the noise continues with vigor, a loud thumping that echoes through the walls. With a groan, you rise from your bed and slip into the hallway. There, you are able to discern that the sound is coming from Justice's room. You approach her door and knock. Come in. The door swings open. You look to the demon's bed only to find it empty. She's invisible. Instead, Justice is on the floor, doing crunches. Pauses as you enter and sniffs at the air. Yo, take her! Good morning. Morning? How did you know it was me? That. Easy. Unlike the others, you don't reek of brimstone. I take that as a compliment. You can tell us apart by smell? Most of the time. At this revelation, you stop to ponder the implications only to find yourself directed by that fact that Justice has resumed her workout. Not even the measly conversation can slow her down. Even as she speaks, she's hammering out rep after rep, counting each under her breath. Anyway, 9. 10. How's it going? You're 11, 12, 13. Up earlier than usual? Yeah, about that. All of a sudden, the demon, finished with her crunches, jumps to her feet and begins to stretch in preparation for the next exercise. Oh, she's like, her hobby is exercising. That's why she looks so fit. I must have woken you. Sorry about that. I was hoping to get my sets in just before breakfast. Justice. Breakfast won't be ready for another couple of hours. Oh, really? Huh. Looks like I misjudged the time. Well, might as well get it done now since I'm up. Alright, what could you do? At least try to keep it down a little? Most of us are trying to get a couple of more hours of sleep. I'll do my best, Chief, but I make no promises. I'm all finished up with my warm-up. Now I'm gonna be moving on to the difficult stuff. The difficult stuff? Yeah, elevated push-ups, sideway planks, chin-ups, burpees, that sort of thing. You know? Burpees? Are you out of your mind? We're on the second floor. Do you have any idea how much noise that's going to make? You could wake up Cerebrus doing that. Once she's up, it's impossible for the rest of us to get any sleep. You know how much energy she has in the morning? Yeah. That's a fair point. But what else am I supposed to do? Go to a gym, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Have you considered actually going to a gym? A gym could be fun. Bro, Justice, you're gonna fucking destroy every single device in that gym. Do you know any good ones? Well, oh, come on. You know the best places, right? Or do you mean to tell me that you were just born with arms the size of tree trunks? And before you ask me how I know, Maudius told me. In a desperate attempt to ignore the rising warmth in your cheeks, you cast your mind back to time in which you did frequent the gym. It's been some time since your last visit, but you figure that now is a good time and a time as any to go back. Alright, you're gonna want a towel, some clothes you don't mind sweating in, a water, and a water bottle. Hell yeah. We're going now? We are. Unless, that is, you'd rather wait. No way. Man, I'm in. Then, without further ado, Justice ushers out of her room as she gathers her things and change. You take the opportunity to slip across the hall into your own room, there where you find yourself looking longingly at your bed. Rather than to give in to your desire to sleep, however, you dig your old workout equipment out of your closet and throw on a t-shirt and a set of gym shorts. As you head toward the door, you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and wonder just what it is you've gotten yourself into. After getting ready to hit the gym, you step out into the hallway and are met with the sight of Justice walking toward you, practically bouncing on her heels. With excitement, she grabs your arm as soon as you are within reach, so that you can lead the way down the stairs and to the car. Bathed in the glow of the early morning sun, you and Justice load up in the car and make your way into the town. A short while later, you arrived at the gym. The large sign over the door reads Mount Olympus. Not only is this your favorite gym, but it also just happens to be the closest one to your house. Though the tall glass walls, you can see the morning crowd is in the middle of their workout. So you and Justice get out of the car and head inside. With a demoness gripping onto your forearm for guidance, you approach the desk and retrieve a couple of membership forms. You fill out a renewal for yourself before assisting an overzealous Justice with her own. Then, the two of you hit your respective locker rooms to drop off your bags. Wow. You reconvene at the squat rack. Are you certain you want to start here? Without a doubt. I'm thinking 7 sets, 13 reps each at, let's say 13 lbs. Wow, Justice. Pardon? Yeah, I know, it's a little low on the side, but I'm still feeling a little stiff and out of practice. So I thought a warm up like that would be a good place to start. What do you say? I say, give me a minute to load up the weight and I'll spot you. And with that, you set to work loading up the bar. Though you've never seen a gym that has weights in increments of 3, you find yourself too focused on hauling them over to the bar and really think too much on the matter. After everything is all set up, you help Justice into position. Her first couple of reps look a bit uneasy, so you look carefully on her progress. After the first few, however, the demoness begins to find her rhythm. Soon, she's hammering out squats with impeccable form before your eyes. Justice finishes her first set without so much as breaking a sweat. How is it looking so far? Everything looks good form here. I meant my reps. As she bends down to pick up the bar again, Justice looks over her shoulder as at you and winks. Fortunately, you are saved by the embarrassment of having a stammer out as a reply by the fact that the demon has returned her attention to the workout. Justice knocks out her remaining 6 sets with ease as she is dabbing at the sweat which has begun to gaze her arms and forehead. She turns to you. Ayy. Alright, your turn. What are you feeling? I think I'll keep the weight, but I'm going to tone the sets and reps down a notch. 3 sets. 7 reps? Sounds good to me, man. You do what makes you comfortable. At this, you trade places at the squat rack. Justice places her hands on your hips to get into position to spot you. Then, with a brief thumbs up in your direction, you begin your first set. Admittedly, your progress isn't nearly as effortless as Justice's was, but you remind yourself that not only has it been a while, but you're also not a literal demon from hell, and so you persevere. You manage your first set fairly well and finish up the second in much the same way. On the third, however, you feel your legs begin to shake as though they are ready to give up. Feeling you begin to waver, Justice squeezes your hips. Oh, come on, man, you could do this. You've only got 4 more reps to go. With Justice egging on you, you power through the last of your squats. As you return to the bar to its rightful place, Justice meets you with a triumphant high five. You killed it, man! Through your panting, you can't manage to reply. Now, what's next? You set your sights on the next machine, and the rest of your time at the gym passes by in time the same way as it did at the squat rack. At each section, Justice breezes through her first sets before helping you through your own. By the time you are on your last few machines, the demoness is practically glowing, while you feel like just to step above a puddle on the floor. In spite of this exhaustion, however, adrenaline is pumping through your body and you feel better than you have in a long time. You find that you can't remember why you have stopped exercising in the first place. Sadly, your elation proves to be your downfall. In your zeal, you overdo it with the weight at the pull-down machine and ended up going a little bit too far. It is only when pain shoots through the muscles of your back and shoulders that you realize what you've done. Ah! Whoa, that didn't sound so good. Are you alright? Justice helps you detangle from the machine and prompts you to take a seat on a nearby bench. I'm good. I just overdid it a little bit. May I? Go right ahead. The demon feels around for the muscles for your back and winches when she comes up to a point of pain. Yeah, you really did a number on yourself there, Chief. Why don't we take it easy for a sec? Have a bit of a breather. As you sit, Justice works on massaging out a little bit of the ache from your shoulder. Embarrassed by your mistake, a hot wash of shame warms your cheeks. Hey, it's alright to be excited, you know, but I don't want you hurting yourself. Aww. It's important to know your limits. That way, you can avoid this sort of thing, but also know where you can safely push those boundaries to steadily get better. Yeah? Agreed. Yeah. Setbacks are normal. And think of it as a way now. We've got a good idea of your limits for the future. I really hope you don't get discouraged from this, Taker, because I had a blast coming here with you today, and I'd love it if it's something we can do in the future. Aww. Thanks, Justice. I had a lot of fun, too, and I promise I won't let this stop me. We can make this a regular thing. How's that sound? Do you mean it? Absolutely. You feel the demon lean her cheek against your shoulder. Good. I'd like that. Alright, let's hit the showers. I'm beat. Sounds good. You both hit your respective showers to clean up and meet back up by the front desk. On your way out, Justice loops her arms around you and holds you close as you walk toward the car. Though sore and exhausted than you've been in a long time, you find yourself looking forward to the next trip to the gym. Nice. That was nice. Okay. That was a nice workout session. Next is Lucifer. You should probably take Lucifer's advice and spend some time with the other girls first. What? Bruh. Okay, so if Lucifer doesn't want to take a date, I'll take a date with Judgement now. One day, you are hanging out around the house. You come to the realization that you've been seen very little of Judgment since she moved in. No sooner does this thought occur to you, however, that you happen to come upon the demon in the living room. She's sitting by the window with her back turned at you. It's clear she doesn't notice you right away. Thinking that there must be something on the windowsill that has captured her attention, you decided to cheer up closer to get a better look at whatever it is that has her so enthralled. Then, as you draw near, you catch a glimpse of the object of her admiration, a tiny caterpillar. You step even closer and are surprised to find that Judgment is trying to corral the creature into the palm of her gauntlet. Sadly, the insect, seemingly put off by the feel of metal, resists her endeavors. You wonder for a moment why Judgment doesn't simply scoop the thing up, but then it occurs to you that she's fearful. She might hurt it if she were to do so. Only then do you decide to alert the demon to your presence. At once, the demon leaps to her feet and spins at your face. Blushing profusely, she wears the expression of someone who was caught with their hand in a cookie jar, so to speak. Mortal. You startled me. Sorry about that. I just wanted to see that what you were doing over here. Oh, I have discovered an intruder. An intruder? You mean the caterpillar? Indeed, we must dispose of it swiftly. I suppose so. Here, let me take care of it. Judgment steps aside as you approach the windowsill. As you bend down to scoop the caterpillar up into your hand, you hear a small gasp at your back. Peering over your shoulder, you see Judgment staring intently back at you. Well, what are you waiting for, mortal? Dispose of the trespasser. With a nod, you scoop the creature into your hand with a hold it aloft. I think I'm just going to put this little fella out into the garden. A look of relief flashes over Judgment's expression. Oh? I mean, do you think that's wise? Boo! Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. You turn back your way to the back door. Judgment follows you all the way up until you venture out into the garden. As you dispose of the caterpillar out into the bush, you look up to see the demon watching you from the window. Something about the look on her face strikes you as odd. Perhaps it is that you have never seen the demon look quite so vulnerable before. Before you can fully comprehend the matter, however, your eyes meet and her expression melts away before your eyes. You make your way inside only to find yourself accosted at once by Judgment. How could you just allow that creature to escape, mortal? It was probably lost in the first place. Caterpillars only typically like the indoors all too much. Very well. What if it done you harm, then? What? That little guy? Nah, caterpillars are harmless. They don't really become a nuisance until they turn into butterflies and get their wings. Wings? Yeah, once those guys start flying around, they can be a bit of a nuisance. Chewing holes in your clothes and drapes and such. Or maybe I'm thinking of moths. What is the meaning of this, Taker? What more can you tell me of these creatures? She's afraid of bugs. Ah, interesting. Well, you see... Come to think of it, I don't actually know all that much about butterflies. They very well could be dangerous for all I know. Aha! How about this? There's a Butterfly Conservatory that just opened up nearby. What do you say we go there and we can both learn a little bit more about these enemies of ours? Judgment's cheeks redden at your suggestion. She looks shyly to your side, and you can see her seriously contemplating your offer. Yes, mortal. I think this would be satisfactory. Well, when the afternoon rolls around, you decide to call the conservatory and advise to see if they offer tours. Much to your delight, they do. So you book a tour and approach the demon regarding your date at the conservatory. Thinking it might be a nice surprise, you decide to keep the tour a secret. For now. Ready to go? Fool! I was born ready. Without further ado, you load up into your car and head down to the port. There, you are greeted by the sight of the conservatory looming over the grassy knolls. As you approach the giant, glassy building, you are met by a young man at the door. From the logo on his polo shirt, you can see that he's one of the conservatory tour guides. Hello, you must be my late afternoon tour. That's us. That's us. Tour? What is this man talking about, Taker? I went ahead and called in advance to book a tour for us. Since they know more about butterflies than we do, I thought going on a tour would be the best way for both of us to learn. At this, color rushes into Judgment's face. Oh. Yes, that sounds wonderful. Actually, thank you. The sudden sincerity in Judgment's voice takes you off guard. Before you can process what you just heard, the tour guide claps his hands together, drawing your attention. Excellent. Now, let's head inside, shall we? With the young man leading the way, you and Judgment make your way into the conservatory. First, you stop inside a large welcome room. Before we get started, I'm going to have you remove your gloves. I'm afraid we don't allow weapons or weapons-like objects inside the conservatory. We offer lockers for your temporary storage, so I can assure that they will be looked after. At first, you fear that Judgment will envelop the poor man in her chains and throttle him under the grill until he relents. Instead, Judgment nods and removes her gauntlets. She hands them off to a front desk worker who nearly buckles under the weight. With the matter taken care of, the tour guide leads you into the spacious conservatory room at large, where the butterflies are free to linger about all over. As you pass through the great glass double doors, you wonder about the sudden appearance of this soft-spoken side to Judgment that you've never seen before. Though peculiar and vastly different from the first impression you got from her down in hell, you find yourself excited at the opportunity to learn about this more gentle facet of her personality. You smile as you watch the demoness bend down to examine a caterpillar on a leaf. Tell me, boy, how long does it take for these creatures to become airborne? Boy. With a sigh, you realize that, for whatever reason, Judgment's more gentle side is buried deep. You're pleased to see that the tour guide seems unfazed by the demon's sudden outburst. Well, the typical metamorphosis cycle over 30 days, some species vary from that number of couple of days or so. But generally speaking, it takes about a month for a caterpillar to become a butterfly. A month? That does not give us such much time to prepare, mortal. What do they eat, usually? Oh no! Oh shit! Oh my god, I didn't read into that shit. That's a good question. Actually, for the most part, the caterpillar's diet consists of most entirely of plant matter. After they undergo metamorphosis, however, their food choice changes depending on their species. Most butterflies eat plant nectar, and others may choose to feed on things like tree sap, fruit, or even decaying animal matter. So they are meat eaters. Some of them are, yes, but most butterflies have quite the sweet tooth. If you wanted to feed them yourself, you could put out a plate of chopped fruit or even just a simple solution of sugar, and water is enough to get their attention. Would you like to feed one? Yes, please. At this, the young man reaches for a squeeze bottle that he keeps on his belt. He then takes Judgment's hand, dabs some liquid into her palm, and prompts her to hold her arm aloft. In no time, a butterfly rides onto the demon's hand and begins to lap at the sugary substance with its narrow tongue. It tickles. It does a little, doesn't it? Would you like to try too, sir? I would. What the fuck am I doing over there? Wow. Look at that. Cute. The man pours some of the sugar water into his palm as well. As soon as you two have attracted the attention of a couple of hungry butterflies. As Judgment stares intently at the creatures fluttering about her palm, you find that your attention is on her instead. It's hard to believe that this is the same demon who once tried to trap you for an entire eternity for torment in hell. If you put a little on the tip of your finger, you draw a line down the bridge of your nose. You might even get one to land there. As I understand, doing that makes a great photo opportunity. Like this. Before the tour guide can enter, a butterfly lands right onto Judgment's face, startling the demon. Oh. The three of you share a round of laughter before carrying on with the tour. Before you're quite ready for it to end, the tour concludes at you and the Judgment return to the waiting area to retrieve her gloves. Just before you leave the conservatory area, you hear a little tiny crunch followed by a grasp of anguish, and you turn around at once to see Judgment kneeling on the ground. Up close inspection, you notice a tiny, mangled caterpillar body laying on the path. A few tears fall onto the concrete next to it, and you are privy to the unmistakable sound of sniffling. Oh no. Hey, Judgment. Before you can say anything else, Judgment stands. In spite of the tears in her eyes, her jaw is set. Whatever it was you saw in her expression earlier was gone. Now, you can only see the High Prosecutor of Hell standing before you. Foolish creature. Let there be a warning to all of you kind who think it's wise to cross me, for I am Judgment, the High Prosecutor of Hell. At this moment, Judgment brushes past you on her way to retrieve her belongings. Sadly, all you can do is watch as the demon dons her gauntlets and sets her sights on the door. You follow, and soon enough the two of you are in the car with your sights set at home. For a silent and somber drive, you arrive at your front door. Judgment is quick to get out of the car. Thank you for today, mortal. It was enjoyable. Though her eyes are still red from her tears, you decide to say nothing of the caterpillar. I'm glad you had a good time, Judgment. Perhaps we can do it again sometime. Perhaps. And with that, the demon turns and hurries into the house. You follow, but catch no sign of her anywhere. Only the sound of slamming door meets your ears. For the rest of the day, Judgment doors remain closed, with no sight of the demon within. So I think the next date shall be Lucifer, right? In our next video, right? Alright, so let me no, I'm just checking if my thing is correct. So with that, everybody, I think in conclusion to this episode, I like Judgments more. Justice is so buffed. She has more abs than any of these demons. I believe that's why she is more powerful than Beelzebub. But I think these two dates here are my favorites so far. And after this series is ended, I have to rank all of these for my favorites. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below, subscribe, like the video if you like it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And see you guys in the next video. Peace!